Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thanks for joining me once again here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Knuckle Up with Mike and Cedric. No, this is boxing news today. And let's start off with some news out of Mexico. Roy Jones Junior Boxing Promotions has been putting on tournaments for a while now that we've been reporting on. And he's got one coming up. These are the WCBS four-man lightweight tournament. These are championship finals now that have been announced. So for the vacant WBC Latino lightweight championship, 10-rounder, you're going to see Luis Torres go up against Diego Andrade. These are all taking place in Sonora, Mexico, by the way. The co-feature in the lightweight division, an 8-rounder, sees Brian Zalangpa going up against Yazier Rojas. In the 6-rounder, you're going to see Marco Moreno go up against Juan Leonel La Vitula Ortega Resendez. In the lightweight fight, Pedro Bargara going up against Hector Lozano. And that all takes place, as I said, tomorrow night, Thursday, June 2nd, in Sonora, Mexico, promoted by RJJ Boxing Promotions, De La O Promotions, and World Cup Boxing Series. That's the WCBS. And that'll all be streamed, by the way, on UFC Fight Pass. So there's some interesting news, as I say, coming out of Sonora, Mexico, with respect to the lightweights that they've been promoting quite heavily over the past year, at least. Let's go down under for the big Kambosos Haney fight, and some news for the, I wouldn't call it the undercard. This is going to be an interesting fight as well. Jason Maloney, the Australian favorite. His opponent, Aston Palikte, out of the Philippines, has arrived now in Melbourne ahead of his clash, as I said, with Maloney. That's in a bantamweight division. It's a 10-rounder, okay? And it's on the undercard. Let's have a quick look here. The WBC Silver Bantamweight title and the WBO International Bantamweight title will both be on the line in the Palikte-Maloney fight. Palikte, who's 28-4-1 with 23 knockouts. He's fighting out of Bago City in the Philippines. And he's feeling pretty confident about his preparation for the fight, having reunited with longtime trainer Nono Neri to train at the MP Gym, probably Manny Pacquiao Gym in Davao City in the Philippines. Palikte won all of his bouts under Neri, a 10-fight winning streak from 2013 to 2015. He had this to say: "I'm very thankful for this big opponent. This is a good opponent for me. I've wanted this fight for a long time. I'm in 100% condition." Palikte is a two-time world title challenger and has won 3 straight fights. Prior to becoming a top contender in the pros, Palikte was one of the Philippines' top amateurs, representing his country at the 28 IABA Youth World Championships in Mexico and earning a bronze at the 2010 China Open in China. Maloney is 23-2 with 18 knockouts, hails from nearby Mitcham, Victoria, Australia, and he's coming off 2 straight wins since losing his second attempt at a world title. Palikte hopes a win over Maloney leads to another shot at a world title, but says he isn't looking past Maloney. In addition to Neri, Palikte is also accompanied by his manager, Jason Sung, and assistant trainer, Ryan Sangalia. So that looks to be a really good battle shaping up prior to the big Kambosos Haney clash. Let's move over to Florida, United States, where we're going to see Trevor Bryan go toe-to-toe against Daniel Dubois, big heavyweight clash coming up June 11th. And this is what, quite funnily, I thought anyway, Trevor Bryan had to say. And I believe this is potentially a tweet. Daniel Dubois is a strong fighter, says Trevor Bryan. He has fought some good guys, but I am on a different level. You saw that when he came up against some good opposition. He quit, gave up. Alrighty, so let's see what the article has to say. WBA heavyweight champion Trevor Bryan has labeled his forthcoming opponent, Daniel Dubois, as a quitter, who will be out of his depth when he challenges for the title on June 11th over in Florida. The unbeaten Bryan, however, does acknowledge the threat posed by the young knockout artist Dubois and admits it presents a significant threat to his 22-fight professional winning streak. Trevor Bryan was talking to Dev Asani for the Unibet Lowdown show here On Boxing 247, you can watch the full interview via YouTube. But he did have this to say: "I fight like every fight is my last fight. I'm going to give it my heart, my soul, my every inch, every bit of strength I have in this upcoming fight on June 11th, because even with the heavyweights, this career doesn't last long. Every opportunity I do get with names like Daniel Dubois and fighters after this, you want to fight your hardest and show everybody you have heart and show everybody your skills are going to carry you along." So yeah, I am treating this like this is my last fight. Daniel Dubois is a strong fighter. He has fought some good guys, but I'm on a different level. You saw that when he came up against some good opposition. He quit. He gave up. You don't quit. You don't give up, he continues. I would rather go out on my own shield. He's an okay guy, but he's going in against a nightmare. I will be a nightmare for him and not the fight that he wants. Maybe he should have went back and tried to reverse the loss he had against Joe Joyce before he came to the champion. Now that he said he wants the champion, he begged for this fight, and now he has it. He has it, and now he has to pay for it. I'm not the type of fighter where you can step into the ring and think you can walk all over me. I'm not heavyweight champ for no reason. On June 11th, I'm going to show everybody that I am a name that you're supposed to respect. I am that man who's going to be sticking around for a long time in this sport. I'm taking over. So on June 11th, you guys are going to see what Trevor Bryan, the Dream, is all about. So as I say, June 11th, WBA Heavyweight Championship on the line. And it's going to be on fans in the UK, live on BT Sport. Over at the Elevations Event Center in Chester, Pennsylvania, United States, on July 16th. There's going to be a big show. It's going to be the Price Promotions 2022 debut event. So on June 14th, they're having a press conference. The press conference will take place at the Dubois Boxing Center. That's in Turnersville, New Jersey. And it'll feature main event rising star Dylan, the real Dill Price, 14-0, 10 knockouts, and a resident of Virginia, Drew Cornell, 10-2, 6 knockouts, and a 12-round bout for the NBA bantamweight title. Cornell, who's now competing at the bantamweight limit of 118 pounds and stands a towering 5'10", and is also southpaw and figures to be among the Price's toughest opponents. Dylan Price is excited about the opportunity and to have an actual press conference. Is looking to have all his supporters as well as his detractors attend his debut press conference. Fair enough. So we'll see what happens. We're expecting more news, obviously, out of the boys down at Price Promotions, and we'll see what the results of that fight will be. Let's move along across the country to California, where Saul Sanchez is going up against Eros Correa. After an impressive 2021, Thompson Boxing's bantamweight contender Saul the Beast Sanchez, who's 18-1 with 11 knockouts, will make his 2022 debut as he headlines Thompson Boxing's Path to Glory event on Friday, June 17, 2022. Sanchez will face the highly touted amateur standout Eros Correa, who's 11-1 with 8 knockouts, fighting out of San Jose, California in a 10-round main event. And the event's going to take place at the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario, California, that has hosted many such events in the past. Sanchez, who has had back-to-back first-round knockouts on the road against Frank Gonzalez, 8-1, and Jericho Quinn, who's 14-0-1, 8 knockouts, made headlines for such an impressive feat, especially his showbox knockout of O'Quinn, which went viral. Now Sanchez once again is in tough and looking to make his climb at being in contention for a world title by the end of the year. Where have we heard that before? I am thrilled to be fighting against such a dangerous opponent, and to do it in Southern California is great, said Sanchez. I want to fight in a title eliminator this year, and I want to be the best available in my division to do so. My friends, family, and supporters expect a lot from me, and I plan to live up to the potential they see in myself. This is going to be a great fight, and you won't want to miss it. This will be my first fight at bantamweight, and those watching will see me fight at my most powerful weight class in Korea. For my entire career, I've been fighting above my natural weight. I'll be more explosive with every punch I throw. I've been envisioning fighting Sanchez for a long time now, and the opportunity to beat him is here. In an 8-round co-feature, George Aluyu Acosta, who's 11-1 with 1 knockout out of Whittier, California, will face Marlon So Icy Sims, who's 8-1 with 4 knockouts, fighting out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, in a lightweight bout. The event will stream live for free on Thompson Boxing Promotions website. That's thompsonboxing.com, as well as on their Facebook and YouTube pages. So a lot of people getting into the streaming situation. Here's the undercard bouts, by the way. Welterweight, Louis Lopez will fight an opponent to be named later. In the lightweight division, Pedro Valencia out of Los Angeles will fight Mario Aguiar out of Tijuana. Middleweight Knuckle Nelson Oliva, 2-0 out of Riverside, will face Antonio Duarte out of Tijuana. And the opening card of the pro debut of welterweight Antonio John Silvadar out of Riverside will face Genesis Wynn out of Denver, Colorado. Good stuff. Alrighty, let's quickly zip across again. Go back and forth across the country here. Let's go over to Minneapolis, USA, to the Armory. Former unified super bantamweight world champion Danny Roman shared insight into his training camp and more as he nears his showdown to regain top billing against unified WBC and WBO 122-pound world champion Stephen Fulton Jr. And that takes place this Saturday, June 4th on Showtime, as I said, from the Armory in Minneapolis, headlining a premier boxing champions event being promoted by TGB Promotions and Warriors Boxing. The Los Angeles native Roman, who's 29-3-1 with 10 knockouts, first became a champion in September 2017 when he traveled to Japan to stop Shun Kubu and capture the WBA belt. After 3 successful defenses, Roman added the IBF title in 2019 against then unbeaten TJ Dorney, following a narrow split decision loss to Murodjon Akhmadaliev in 2020. Roman bounced back with dominating victories over Juan Carlos Payano in September 2020 and Ricardo Espinoza in May 2021. Now he will look to regain his unified status at 122 pounds against the fast-rising Fulton in a matchup of highly skilled and aggressive combatants. Here's what Roman had to say ahead of his showdown this Saturday. I'm up against a very skilled fighter who doesn't have many flaws, but every man has his weaknesses, and I'm going to exploit Fulton's. I believe my style will be very difficult for him to adjust to. He's never been in the ring with an experienced fighter like me. I know what needs to be done to be victorious in this fight. The world will see a greatly improved version of myself in this fight. I'll be throwing a lot of punches till the final bell, and I'm preparing to go the distance. With respect to fighting for another world championship, I've worked my way back to this position with a lot of sacrifice, dedication, and perseverance. These opportunities don't come by for most fighters, so I'm grateful for my entire team for believing in me and sticking by my side. I'm fighting for 2 world titles, this time for the WBC and WBO belts. I best believe I'm going to leave everything in the ring. Fair enough. So let's move along now to, where are we moving to now? Oh, Ryan Garcia. Yeah, the big Ryan Garcia fight coming up. Undefeated lightweight superstar Ryan Garcia, 22-0, 18 knockouts, out of California, will make his second appearance of the year, facing former 2-time world champion Javier Fortuna, who's 37-3-1, by the way. He fights out of the Dominican Republic. The 12-round lightweight fight will take place on July 16th and will be streamed live worldwide, exclusively on DAZN. Said Garcia, if there's any doubt I was hesitant to fight Fortuna a year ago, that will be all made clear after our fight. This is the fight I wanted, and now it's time. I'm so grateful to my friends, family, and especially my fans for their support. I've never felt better, stronger, and more motivated. It's time to silence all the doubters, and it starts on July 16th. This, said Fortuna in response, this is going to be a very exciting fight. I know it didn't take place last year like originally announced, but I hope that this time will be real so that I can offer a good show to the public. I feel very happy with the work I've been doing with my promoter, Samson, who's been trusting me since the beginning of my career. I will prepare 100% to win my fight. I trust my team now more than ever and have full confidence in my coach, Belvin Garcia, who I consider my family. Together, and with God on our side, I know we'll hold up our hands high in victory on fight night. Quick little poke from Oscar De La Hoya. He said it's time to show the world Ryan Garcia as an elite level fighter. This fight against Javier Fortuna will not only be a tough fight, it will show the world how talented he is. Fair enough. Let's see what that result will be. Finally, for the last story of the day, we've got a quick little announcement from Matchroom Boxing, who are delighted to announce a new global ticketing deal with Stage Front. Matchroom Boxing and Stage Front will work together to drive future innovation to create the world's best ticketing, hospitality platforms, and experiences for customers. The partnership will evolve and modernize this key touch point of the sport. This agreement is about generating even more excitement and value for fans in the build-up to events. The partnership will look to innovate with Web3 and enter the metaverse with new technologies like NFTs for added engagement and security. This will put boxing at the forefront of ticketing, rewards, and unique content for fans. Eddie Hearn had this to say: "We are always looking to improve the fan experience at our events, and this partnership with ticketing technology leader Stagefront will allow us to push the innovation to another level," said Carl Rose, CEO of Stagefront. "We are thrilled to be working with one of the top promoters in the world. Matchroom is the perfect partner as we continue to strategize unique partnerships in the combat sports space." Fair enough, and thank you for joining me here on Talk and Fight. It's been a good show. If you want more information on any of these stories, please go to boxing247.com. Check out their website. I'll see you later on at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Knuckle Up with Mike Orr at 4, and Subject Band will be in the den as well. Remember, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you later on. Thank you.